White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. It was a late but exciting finish in Game 2, and a game where offense was hard to come by. The White Sox found a way late to even the series behind a really strong night from this pitching staff. And let's take a look who's on the mound here today. It's a rematch between Sean Burke and Emerson Hancock from 12 days ago in Chicago. In Emerson's last outing, he allowed just one run in 6 innings against the Padres, while Sean Burke is looking to get back on track after his Friday start versus the Cubs. Welcome into the broadcast, everybody. I'm Brooke Fletcher. The vibes are high in the White Sox dugout, where they've won 8 of their last 10 games. And with a win here today, they'll be 3 games over 500. And a huge reason for this recent stretch is because they've been really good closing out games. Something they've really struggled with a year ago. Last season, the Sox were 15-36 in one-run games, and this year they're 10-5, which is tied for first in the league and tied for second with wins that come down to the final at-bat. Will Venable told us you can talk about energy all you want, but it's about how it translates on the field and having the right guys step up in big moments. And last night, the pitching staff did exactly that. After a 35-pitch inning, Anthony Kay really settled in and ended up giving the White Sox 5 1/3 innings, the length they needed to put the bullpen in a really good spot. Through 3 2/3 innings, they had 8 punch-outs and didn't give up any hits and only allowed 1 walk. Will praised Tyler Davis for stabilizing things and just attacking the strike zone before Grant Taylor came in and shut the door again in that closer role, just continuing what's been a really impressive stretch for him. Coming up, we're going to go back to that 9th inning and why the White Sox have been so good down the stretch of games. Can they get the series win here today? John and Gordon discuss.
Infield is in for the Mariners. Inside out swing, and it gets into right field. My drop comes through as Derek Hill scores. We are tied here in Seattle in the 9th.
Second and third, only 1 out, tie ball game.
And the infield stays in, and it goes off the glove of Naylor. White Sox take their first lead of the night here in the 9th.
What a comeback by the White Sox.
And now Grant Taylor is a strike away, closing out this ball game. 1-2 pitch from Taylor. Yeah, buddy! White Sox come from behind in the 9th and take game 2 of this series 2-1 over the Mariners. What a performance by Chase Smydroth and company, getting the win late. And now a chance to win this series in the finale against the Seattle Mariners here in T-Mobile Park. The White Sox have been hitting so many home runs as of late. But last night, a little different, finding a different way to win a game, and it was a fun one to watch. What is up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside Gordon Beckham. I'm John Schriffen. All right, let's go back to that 9th inning last night. The White Sox down 1-0. They had just 2 hits going into the 9th, finding a way to get the win.
Yeah, also no hit through 5 innings, just those 2 hits before the 9th, and then a walk and a hit by pitch set the stage for Chase Smydroth, staying through the baseball, going the other way and finding a hole. A very low expected batting average right there, and Benintendi follows that up with a hard hit baseball that Naylor could not corral. The boys were doing it. It was unbelievable to see what they did, especially after no success early. They found a way.
All right, the pitching matchup on the mound here today. Sean Burke goes against Emerson Hancock. This is a rematch of what we saw 12 days ago back in Chicago. The White Sox were actually able to touch up Hancock. How do they do that again here today?
Yeah, more of the same, right? But Hancock knows that this offense is very good, and he talked to me before the game, the first day out here. He really recognizes that this offense for the White Sox is different than in years past, and he's got an incredible fastball, 4-seam and sinker, but he really relies on that sweeper. Only a 6% hard hit rate against that pitch. We'll see how that fares today in the Pacific Northwest.
White Sox have an off day tomorrow. The game plan today, empty the tank and do whatever you need to do to get this series win.
Operated. Manny's is Chicago since 1942.
White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or toyota.com today. Let's go places. By Davis Law Firm, your Chicago lawyer. By Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more. Welcome inside T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Just a gorgeous setting, especially when the roof is open once again. That's how we will play things here on this afternoon. Your Chicago White Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners in the finale of this three-game set. And here is the starting lineup. Sam Antonacci leads things off, followed by Munetaka Murakami. You'll notice no Miguel Vargas. He does not get the start today. Brooke Fletcher will have more on that and her scoop from the clubhouse. Benny, Montgomery, Mydroth, Kelnick, Peters, Drew Romo behind the plate, and Acuna the start at short.
Emerson Hancock on the mound. I must say he did pitch at the University of Georgia, so it's going to be a tough day for the White Sox offense. I'm just kidding.
Is that why you wore red today?
That's right. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. 3-1 at home. He pitches very well. Last 8 appearances, 3-1 with a 1.96 ERA here at Safeco. So he really, T-Mobile Park. He can really throw it, sling it, four-seamer, sinker, sweeper is what he goes with. And here's the defense behind him in the outfield from left to right. Rosarina, Rodriguez, and Rayleigh on the infield. Wisdom, Emerson, Young, and Naylor, and Pareda behind the plate. The weather is presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. And it's a little cooler today, but absolutely perfect out here in Seattle. Blue skies. And a few clouds to mention, but a beautiful day for a ball game.
Sox trying to win the series as Sam Antonacci steps in, getting ready for the first pitch here against Emerson Hancock. Starts things off, strike one.
Here's Mike Bucklinski. He's pretty neutral. Call strikes 5% above MLB average into right-handed batters. That'll be something interesting to watch, especially with the sinker from Hancock.
That one up the middle. It is Emerson again getting the start at short. And he makes the play to start this ball game. It's interesting for the White Sox. They faced Wu in the opener. They faced Miller last night, and now Emerson Hancock. Three very similar type pitchers where they're going to give you some velocity, lean on the fastball. How does that help if you're a hitter in terms of your attack facing a similar pitcher all 3 games?
It does help that they all lean on their fastball, but it's just a reminder to get on it. Get on that fastball and stay on it. Now, the problem with that is we've seen a lot more off speed from this staff than normally they throw. They throw generally more fastballs, but I think with the way that the White Sox lead the yard, they are trying to stay out of the center of the plate with that heater and go with more off speed to keep them off.
Last time the White Sox saw Hancock, he gave up 5 runs in 6 innings. That was in Chicago, but he did pick up the win as the Mariners won that game 12-8. Breaking ball, Murakami out in front of that one. Count is even here. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, pretty good pitch down and away from Murakami, staying out of that happy zone for him.
17 home runs for Murakami, second in Major League Baseball. And this one a tapper in front of the plate. Pareda fields, throws to first. And there's 2 away to start this game. So to keep the lineup construction similar, with Miguel Vargas getting the day off here today, Andrew Benintendi moves up to the 3-hole. So you keep 3 big bats together in the middle of the order, followed by Montgomery. And it was huge last night. Ripped that ball hard off the glove of Naylor at first, allowing the White Sox to score the go-ahead and the winning run in the 9th inning. And that's the heater we're talking about from Emerson Hancock.
Yeah, it has some really good run away from Benintendi. You could tell by his swing that movement got him. Maybe Benintendi's thinking a little bit more pull, especially with that sinker. Got to find a way to go the opposite field.
White Sox have won 8 of their last 10 games, and a win today would mean they would be a season best 3 games over 500.
Snatched victory from the jaws of defeat last night. I mean, no offense, none. I mean, they had a couple hits going into the 9th, but wow, what a way to flip the switch.
Swing and a miss as Benny goes down swinging. White Sox go down in order. When we come back, Sean Burke to the bump as he faced these Mariners recently.
The next round of omelets is on me, fellas.
Bet $10, get $150 in bonus bets.
Last time Sean Burke faced this lineup in Chicago, they put up a ton of runs. Julio Rodriguez in the 2-hole, Luke Raley, they both took him deep in that game. So let's see how this Mariners lineup plays today here in the finale.
Aforementioned Sean Burke on the mound for the 10th time so far this year. That ERA has ballooned after the last 2 times out. He just hasn't looked as sharp as he did early in the season. Let's see if he gets back into form today. There's his arsenal. 4-seam knuckle curve. Slider and sinker dominate that arsenal. And he has struggled a little bit last time out. Was better last time against the Cubs with a batting average on balls in play that was very elevated. Thought he pitched better than the 4 earned runs he gave up.
Key for Burke is establishing that first pitch strike, getting ahead as he's doing here against the leadoff hitter Cole Young. 0-2. Young is one of their star infielders. Gets another start at second base. At 22 years old, the 20-year-old Colt Emerson getting the start at shortstop. So a look into the future for the Mariners here this entire series. 2-2. These are the moments where Burke has tried to focus on. You get ahead of a guy 0-2. He does not want to lose him now with a full count. Fastball down and a walk to start this bottom of the first. Well, the Mariners are now 50 games into their season, and Dan Wilson was asked about just kind of the state of his team right now. He said, we got some starting pitchers starting to get healthy, and offensively we have games here or there. We just have not put it together collectively in a stretch. That's what he is looking for from his squad. And he said the focus in this finale of the series, stick to the game plan, what worked in Chicago against Sean Burke. Is it as easy as that for a lineup, if you've had success 12 days ago, to do it again against the same starting pitcher?
Well, you don't know how Burke's going to come out and attack this time. Just because it worked last time doesn't necessarily mean Burke's going to do exactly what he did last time or where he's going to focus.
This one is popped up into shallow right field as Kelenic comes in to make the grab. 1 down.
So I would say no, it's not that easy. And Burke's going to find a way to make an adjustment. He's got to, right? Last 2 times out has not thrown very well. So I've got to imagine that he and Zach Bove have been talking about what he can do a little bit better, how to get back into that sharpness that we saw from him in San Diego, where he was excellent.
Josh Naylor is 3 for 7 this series against the White Sox. As pokes that one foul out of play. In his last 10 games against the White Sox, I mean, unreal numbers, hitting .485, 4 home runs, and 12 runs batted in his last 10.
I was just about to say, as long as we can keep him inside the yard, we'll be okay.
Runner goes, throw down from Romo, and got him. Nicely done from Drew Romo behind the plate as he catches Cole Young trying to take second.
Nice throw by Romo. This is almost a pitch out where this ball ends up. You see it just up. Great pitch to throw on by Romo, and he throws a strike down to Acuna, who puts the tag on Young. Very nicely done.
So bases empty, 1-1 pitch here to Naylor. And that's always the key when you got a guy who has done so much damage against one team. If you can just face him with nobody on, that is a win.
Big win, correct.
Two balls, two strikes. The pitch from Burke. Strike three called, and a challenge from Naylor.
A batter's challenging the strike call.
ABS is powered by T-Mobile as we take a look at the pitch. Oh, it had the entire plate.
Oh my gosh.
Call's correct. Seattle has one remaining.
Thank you for using that challenge. Welcome back. Top of the second we go. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Colson Montgomery leads things off. It is time for a look at the lines today, presented by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. Home run numbers for Murakami, Montgomery, and Kelnick. Who are you going with today?
Look at Kelnick dropping in, right? Against his old team. Gosh, I want to go with Kelnick.
Okay.
Why not? I didn't expect to see him down there, and all of a sudden, it's like somebody's telling me, sprinkle a little bit on him.
Plus 575. You're going
Good
with value
juice.
play.
Good juice.
Just off the edge. Ball two missing to Colson Montgomery.
It's been kind of crazy to not see the ball go out of the yard, right?
This is not an easy place to get it out. I spoke to Bryce Miller, who was the starter yesterday for the Mariners. And just his second start of the season, he was outstanding. Only gave up one hit in 5 2/3 against the White Sox, striking out 7. And he said, the ball doesn't seem to carry out here, especially early in the season with the cool crisp in the air. As Montgomery walks to start this second inning. That Sox walk is brought to you by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game. And he said pitchers taking the mound, they know that, and it gives them a little more confidence. And Bryce Miller felt like he could be a little more aggressive and go after some spots to attack the White Sox hitters last night.
And he used to be bigger. That's the crazy part. Out there to deep left center. They brought that fence in to make it easier and attract more hitters.
But Miller was very complimentary of the White Sox lineup. He said this is a very different team than the team that he has faced in the past. He said even the way the lineup is constructed, you got guys like Antonacci and Maidroff here, sandwiching in between the big three power hitters. These two are contact players, and then the guys in the middle can go deep, so you really have to be careful with this lineup.
Yeah, I called it an ice cream sandwich before the game. Maybe I was just getting excited for some soft serve, but it is an interesting way to look at it because you have contact, power, contact right now in the lineup. It's a different dynamic. You have to shift as the pitcher. You have to change what you're doing based on the different types of hitters, and that's true anywhere, but White Sox have been doing it well early on this season.
Maidroff taking all the way in a 4-pitch walk, back-to-back walks to start this second. Let's go to Brooke.
All right, you guys were talking about the big three. Well, I have an update on Miguel Vargas after getting hit by a pitch last night. He took some x-rays, MRIs. They all came back negative, which is a great sign. He's not in the lineup here today, but Will Venable told me he was already due for an off day, so they're just letting him rest. He got his treatment, but he could potentially be available off the bench in a pitch hit situation if necessary. I did talk to Miguel before the game. I took a look at that palm. It's that right palm, you guys. It's a little bit bruised. He admitted that in this situation and in that moment, it felt worse than what it actually was, but he woke up today. He said he feels great. He's ready for his guys and cheering them on to get a series win here today, guys.
That is a huge break for the White Sox, that there's no structural damage to his hand, and this is what happened last night. Ooh.
Yeah, I personally was very worried when I saw where it hit, but it did get him on kind of the palm of the hand, so that's that padding right there probably saved him a broken bone.
Yes, that goes off the knuckles or the outside of the hand. There's going to be some serious damage.
Yeah, I got hit on the pinky side where that palm is, just directly on the side of that. And when I did, I was out for multiple weeks because I couldn't swing a bat. So good to see him healthy.
All right.
Kind of healthy.
Here's your pick. Jarred Kelenic at the plate.
What a call this would be.
He's been under the weather the past 3 days.
He seemed very sprightly on the bus over, though. Had a little pep in his step.
That one gets past, so both runners will advance. And the White Sox are threatening here. Second and third, nobody out.
Hancock's all of a sudden lost the feel of the strike zone. I can't believe this didn't hit Kelenic. Good job moving out of the way. Like I said, he's feeling a little bit pep in his step, and it shows right there. Getting out of the way of that one. Now he's got a great opportunity. Runner on third, second and third, got a chance to move him, although the Mariners infield is in to cut down that run at home. So fly ball, sac fly, or something deep would go a long way.
Does that also tell you about what manager Dan Wilson thinks about what his offense is doing? They're not putting up runs, so he brings the infield in very early in this ball game.
Well, I think you have to credit a little bit with the White Sox, what they've done. They started doing this trend last year. Just saying the runs early in the game are just more important. You might get later in the game and you might be down 3 or 4 runs and that run's not as important. But if you tried to cut it down early in the game and you were able to do that, that keeps those 3 or 4 runs that could have accumulated down a little bit less, and you're still in the ball game.
Kelenic with a chance to come through. 2-2 pitch, missing outside. Started his career in Seattle. White Sox his 3rd major league squad. Here's the payoff. Late swing, and it rolls foul.
Just missed a double. Almost went right over the third base bag. I like that from him, though. It might have been late, but he let that ball travel a little bit. I think he's been a little bit too loose early in this series. Maybe that straightens him up a little bit.
Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 3 straight walks to start this second inning.
Did not see this coming after the first. Hancock was rolling. As you see, walks this season versus the White Sox, 6 of them in 7 innings pitched. All other opponents, 7 over 47 and 2/3. Huge opportunity for the White Sox to get out front early.
Hottest bat in the lineup is Tristan Peters right now. Over his last 26 games, hitting .290, 7 extra base hits, and 11 runs batted in. He is not just a bunter anymore. We've seen 18 pitches this inning from Hancock and just 5 strikes.
And you know it's not good when he's going to his changeup, which is one of his pitches he doesn't throw that much.
Peters lifts this in the air, and it's going to land in foul territory, strike 2.
Yeah, he's used changeup. That was a cutter, but he's used changeup only 5% this year. So it shows when a guy starts going to his 4th or 5th pitch, it means he doesn't have great feel for his first 2 or 3 pitches that he throws more often, so he's got to try to figure out something else. He's on the ropes right now. See if the White Sox can knock him out.
1-2. These are those situations where the White Sox have talked about being able to capitalize early in a game, taking advantage of a starting pitcher when they're not as sharp. Swing and a miss. Out number 1 here in the second.
He's found a little success with that changeup. Went to it a few times. Lower arm slot, you can see ball even drops out of the screen. That's how much movement it had. And Hancock's got a chance to get out of this inning if he can get a ground ball.
Drew Romo at the plate. And the first one sails wide at 97. You can tell Hancock, he is just searching for anything to find some consistency in the strike zone. When you got a pitcher spraying it like he is right now, does that change your approach at the plate?
Unfortunately, yes. If he's not finding anywhere near the zone, you can't sit on any one pitch. That means you just got to really box him up middle of the zone, okay? Middle of the strike zone, middle of the plate. Find a window that you're looking for. You want that pitch in that spot. That should be a better idea or plan than trying to look in or out because he's missing so badly in or out.
Drew Romo starting 2 of the 3 games behind the plate in this series against the Mariners. He has shown pop with 4 home runs this season. 2-1, way inside.
It's a pretty big at bat right here by Drew. You got Acuna on deck. If an out is made right here, nobody scores, then you got 2 outs. You got to get a 2-out knock from Acuna. Hancock in the right part of the lineup to get out of this one.
On the ground, tossed to second, over to first. A double play. And the White Sox not able to get a run. They had bases loaded.
Stuff it! Say stuff it and make any salad a stuffer. New salad stuffers at Panera.
Rate is a proud partner of the 2026 White Sox. The Rate app gives Chicago fans an all-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today. Thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday afternoon with Brooke Fletcher on the field. Gordon Beckham, I'm John Schriffen. White Sox unable to capitalize, bases loaded, nobody out. So this game is scoreless as we start this bottom of the second with Sean Burke on the mound. And Randy Arozarena will get hit again in this series as he is clearly not happy about that one.
That one seemed to sting a little bit. See where it got Randy. Right on the padding, so that's a positive.
It might have eluded the padding, but with the way he's reacting to this,
seems like it. Looking for his helmet. Somebody took it. Got him directly on that padding. He's going to stay in the game. Sometimes you need to be mindful of him taking off early, acting like I'm hurt, and then all of a sudden, first pitch, he's gone.
Oh, you think he's playing possum potentially?
Potentially.
Okay.
It's a smart play, honestly.
Here is Luke Raley. Last time he faced Sean Burke in Chicago, took him deep. There goes Arozarena, breaking ball, throw down to second. Well, Gordon, he might have called it.
It's almost like I played this game a little bit, John. Randy Arozarena can still run. He's a big bat, but he can also motor, and he gets a great jump. Breaking pitch, so he had a little bit more time, and in there easy at second base.
th stolen base on the season for Arozarena. Lifted in the air. The shallow right center field as Kelnick comes in to make the catch. And let's go to Brooke.
Guys, it's time for a little news and notes, starting with Jacob Mizorowski. He has been lights out for Milwaukee over his last 4 starts. He's gone 24 in the 3rd innings without allowing a run while striking out 37. Pretty impressive stuff. The Nationals have been making things interesting late. They recorded their 2nd comeback win after trailing by 5 runs in the last 7 days. And Richie Palacios got the green light in a big spot for Tampa. Swinging on a 3-0 count, he drove in the go-ahead run in the Rays' 5-3 win over the Orioles, guys.
How about the Rays? I feel like people aren't talking enough about that team this season. They sweep the Orioles. Their Major League Baseball leading 6th sweep of the season already.
Good team. Very good team, especially when they're out ahead of the Yankees, who by all means look like one of the best teams in the AL.
Since April 22nd, the Rays have the best record in baseball. They're 21-4.
That helps. That helps leading the division. 21-4 in 25 days or so. That's pretty nice.
Breaking ball hit hard, and that's a fair ball down the right field line. Arozarena rounds 3rd. He will score easily as Kelnick gets it out of the corner. An RBI double for Dominic Canzone. And the Mariners strike first, 1-0 here in the 2nd.
Breaking pitch, top of the zone. Canzone stays on it. And watch this, right down the line. No chance for Murakami. Just a matter of if that was going to hit the part of the fence that juts out. Kelnick waiting to see if it would. It misses it, goes all the way down the corner, and Randy Arozarena scores from second base easy. 1-0 Mariners.
In between innings, we were talking about the White Sox, that bases loaded, nobody out situation. It felt like a huge miss to not come up with a run in that situation.
Yeah, it's also a huge boost to the Mariners, who get out of that situation, and then they add insult to injury by putting a run on the board in the bottom of the inning.
Good breaking ball from Burke as Wisdom swings over the top of that one. 0-2. Patrick Wisdom activated off the injured list yesterday. This is his 2nd game back. As the Mariners are trying some different infield alignment. Normally J.P. Crawford gets the start at short, but they're going with their youngster Colt Emerson these last few games. As Wisdom now taking over 3rd base. One away here in the 2nd inning for Sean Burke. Burke has not allowed more than 3 earned runs on the road in 8 consecutive starts. He's looking to back that up again here in Seattle. Two balls, 2 strikes. Popped up. Murakami has room in foul territory, unable to get there.
Sox fans missed yesterday's game with the Chicago Sports Network app. You can watch full game replays on demand anytime, anywhere. Start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. Tough one right there by Murakami. Could not get over and feel that wall. He was a little tentative, and that was a potential out they're not going to have See if Burke can overcome that.
As a fielder, once you feel the difference in the playing surface, when you go from the grass to the warning track, how many steps do you know in your mind you still have?
Generally 2.5 is the way, but every warning track is different. So it's one of those things when you get to a new stadium or you get the stadium again, you remember and go over there and look at how many steps you probably have. It's generally 1 or 2, depending on where you hit. Hit that dirt for the first time.
Because you're going after that ball. You're keeping your eye on the ball the entire time, and you're relying on your instincts and your feeling.
Well, the instincts from Murakami right there were actually okay. Generally, the ball comes back to the playing surface. That did not happen here because I think you can see the wind coming from left to right. I think the wind pushed that a little bit more than he's expecting.
Sean Burke makes up for it, gets the strikeout. There's 2 down here in this second.
Burke gasses him up. There's the grip. 4-seam fastball. Here it is. And there it goes. Second K of the day for Burke. He's got 2 outs here. And Canzone on second base.
Now, the way they set up the flags here at T-Mobile Park, it is according to the standings. So White Sox trailing the Guardians in second place in the American League Central. Here is the 20-year-old rookie, Colt Emerson. Offers at that one. One of the things his manager has talked about is just having this youngster call up and just feeling comfortable already playing at this level. And he really credited a lot of the guys in the clubhouse for the Mariners of just making him feel comfortable, allowing him to be himself, doesn't have to be too much, even though he is getting another start at shortstop today. One, 2. Breaking ball, got him looking. Back-to-back punch outs for Sean Burke. He's got 3 so far today.
What exists in their neighborhood. That is the spirit behind our cafe.
Welcome back to Seattle. Today's game is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Beautiful view of West Seattle.
We say goodbye to the Pacific Northwest today. A little chill, crisp in the air.
It is crispy, but it is a beautiful, beautiful day.
Luis Angel Acuna starts things off. 9-1-2 in the order to the plate for the White Sox. Another good crowd here on hand at T-Mobile Park. So with Vargas getting the day off, a little shift on the infield. Montgomery to third, and Acuna gets the start at shortstop today. Well, Benville said Acuna knows what his role is now after getting playing time early in the season. He's a valuable utility guy now, and his best defensive position is at shortstop. Two. In there, called strike 3. Top of the third of this half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. And Gordon, I think that re-emphasizes your point of Hancock was all over the place in the second, might have found it again now to start this third.
Yeah, you might have just seen your one chance come and go, especially with the guy that's had a lot of success early in the season. Didn't have a lot of success against the White Sox last time out in Chicago, so you know he's licking his chops to get back at the White Sox for getting him so much in Chicago.
Gave up 5 runs in 6 innings in Chicago. If you take that start out against the White Sox, In 8 other starts for Emerson Hancock, he has an ERA of 2.45, which just shows you how well he has pitched this season.
Yeah, he's definitely found something. He told me the other day that he's lowered his arm slot a little bit, and because of that, he feels like he's able to throw the ball over the plate easier, and his stuff is a little bit nastier.
Antonacci grounded out to start this game. Steps in with 1 down here in this 3rd inning. And slices that one into left field. Finds the gap as he takes the big turn at first.
Love this swing from Sam, not trying to do too much. Allows that ball to travel middle of the plate. He just stays right on it. Knocks it through the left side. Vacated by the shortstop, who was playing right up the middle.
So the first hit of the day for the White Sox goes to Antonacci. And a runner on for the big bat, Munetaka Murakami. Lifts this in the air to left. It'll stay in the ballpark as Rosarena, fighting the sun, makes the catch for out number 2.
Today's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. Level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank. Love where you bank.
This White Sox offense has been so explosive, but here in Seattle have only scored a total of 3 runs because the pitching has been so good for the Mariners.
Yeah, and credit the White Sox staff yesterday for what they did, keeping the offense in that game all the way to the end. Finally, the offense has found a way to break through. Doesn't happen without the staff doing their thing. And you look back at Kay, 35 pitches in the first inning when they needed length out of him. There was some serious concern in that dugout during that game, but he found a way to get into the 6th inning. An excellent job mitigating disaster last night. Excellent job also by the bullpen, which Brooke detailed in the open.
35 pitches, also 17 minutes. It was a really long inning, so you got your guys out there for a long time on their feet. But Kay did a nice job to go 5 1/3. And the key for him was towards the end of that outing, he was so economical. The last 8 batters he faced, it was only 16 pitches total. Antonacci getting a good lead at first as that one falls in, strike 1. Brooke?
About Anthony Kay there, you know, he told me, I said, what was going through your mind after that first inning? He said, I came back in the dugout and, you know, I put the pressure on myself in that first inning. He said, I had to turn the page. I had to hit the reset button. But he talked about the sweeper. He said, I learned that I had to get away from that. He said he had to go to the 2-seamer, the 4-seamer, and that's where he really felt like he had a lot of success the rest of the way, guys.
A lot of credit to Kay. I mean, he did his thing. He made the adjustment which was necessary. The bullpen had been taxed, and he kept the White Sox in the game long enough as Antonacci takes off and the pitch is fouled away. Is that something as a position player you notice when your pitcher struggled early but then really keeps you in the game and figures out a way to eat up some innings as it goes on?
Yeah, it's obvious when you're playing, kind of like it was to us up here watching. It was unbelievable to see him have that first inning. We're all thinking, uh-oh, it's not going to be a great day, and he finds a way.
Pitch out, but the throw is wild into center field as Antonacci, the head first slide, he is there at second.
I think Sam thought he had to make a slide to avoid a tag. Maybe he didn't feel like he got that great of a jump. It kind of hits his head. Let's see. Might have clipped Emerson on the way by. Either way, stolen base.
Ooh, Benintendi, a little bloop into center field. Antonacci, he's going to score. So the White Sox will tie this game in the 3rd. An RBI single from Benny.
Stolen base pays off for the White Sox. A little blooper. into center field. Wow, those are fun. And the White Sox have tied it up here. Big time at bat right there by Benintendi, who was fighting. They have not hit, nobody has hit that sweeper well, and he didn't hit it hard, but he found a way to get a knock off of it.
Antonacci making things happen. As Colson Montgomery pops this one up. It is Wisdom at third. He will make this catch to end the top of the third inning. But the White Sox scratch a run across.
One selling brain supplement nationwide for over 10 years. Prevagen for your brain.
It's time for a little Know Your Sox with White Sox pitching coach Zach Bove. His favorite fast food, he said the family tries to eat pretty healthy, so he's usually going Chipotle or Cava Bowls with the occasional Chick-fil-A mixed in. His favorite non-baseball memory was making the regional final his senior year of high school, the first time in school history. He said nobody saw that coming. And outside of baseball, he's really into jiu-jitsu. He's been doing it for 9 years and is now a purple belt. So he said it taught him how to stay calm and work through uncomfortable situations under pressure. But maybe I should take up some jiu-jitsu. Have you guys gotten into that?
Wait, I did not know he was a jiu-jitsu guy. I got a UFC BJJ event tomorrow in Las Vegas. I cover jiu-jitsu.
Whoa.
We're going to have to rap about that a little bit.
Wow, okay.
Maybe y'all should get in the ring together, the octagon, spar a little bit.
Get on the mat, roll
and Gordon
around a
and I
little
will
bit.
call it.
Yeah, we'll call it.
Brooke, that is a really good find. I did not know that about Zach. He is a really bright guy, and he has really helped out this pitching staff. We've talked about what Anthony Kay has done. It was Zach Bove, his suggestion that Kay move over to that first base side of the rubber. In these last 4 outings, we have seen he has had much better results, specifically against righties, with that new angle of attack.
Yeah, he's done a much better job. As we talked about and detailed yesterday, that angle coming into righties with that fastball, generally helpful, creates a little bit of nuance as opposed to that fastball coming in a little bit straighter and staying on plane on the inside part of the plate.
40 pitches now for today's starters, Sean Burke.
I think we're going to get my 2 sons into jiu-jitsu. The young one's got some anger issues.
In the air, right center field, as Peters calls for it. One down here in this bottom of the third. You get 1 ticket plus a free meal. Grab your family and head to the ballpark with a family pack starting at $21 for select game. Each ticket purchase includes a hot dog, a drink, chips, and a cookie. For tickets, visit whitesox.com/family. I think any sport, but especially martial arts, really good for young kids in terms of getting out some energy, learning discipline. This one is hit hard into the gap and just past the reach of a diving Kelnick. So Cole Young, he will have a 1-out double in the third inning.
Great effort by Kelnick out in right center field. I thought he was going to get there. Ball's hit hard by Young. But this ball was tracking right towards Kelnick's glove. Watch how close he was to this one. And you see it right at the end. It almost looks like it knuckles away from him a little bit, just out of the outstretched reach of him. And a good job by Peters to back him up and make sure it was only a double.
Just foul.
Oh, man. Sure looked like it went right over the bag from my angle.
Ryan Blakeney on the call at third.
It's one you want for if you're a White Sox defender. It's like, okay, Julio's up. He's one of their better players. You got an easy out, and all of a sudden just kind of just a little bit off the bag, foul territory. Now you got to deal with him some more.
To center field. Peters lining it up, makes the grab for out number 2. That'll bring up Josh Naylor with a runner on at second base. Sean Burke was effective against Naylor the first time, caught him looking for the strikeout. Burke, when he faced the Mariners back in Chicago 12 days ago, gave up 6 runs in 4 1/3, taking the loss in that ball game. As he tries to keep this game tied here in the 3rd. Popped up. It is Acuna at short. And he makes the catch to get out of this jam.
White Sox, Giants on CHSN.
Join us at the ballpark on Memorial Day, May 25th, as the White Sox take on the Twins at 1:10 p.m. 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive this, a Chase Mydroth bobblehead presented by the Village of Bedford Park. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos. Top of the 4th we go. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota. Tied at 1 with Chase Mydroth leading things off. 5, 6, 7 in the order coming to the plate. Mydroth drew a walk back in the 2nd. One of 3 straight walks to load the bases. .262 batting average for Chase Mydroth. We have seen a little more pop this season with 3 home runs. But he waves at that one, a strikeout to start the 4th. Let's go to Brooke.
Guys, we've talked about Jared facing his former team, but one of the coolest parts for him has been reconnecting with some of Seattle's coaches, including Kevin Seitzer, who he actually worked with in Atlanta. Jared still says they stay in touch and just praised him for his approach as a hitting coach, saying he always understood what he needed, especially during tough stretches early in his career. He said even on off days, Seitzer would be in the cage saying, hey, let's go, and that trust meant a lot to him as a young player. We also talked about being a hitting coach and at the big league level and how that can be one of the toughest jobs in baseball because every player processes information differently and responds to different kinds of coaching and even verbiage. And Gordo, I know you can probably speak to that too.
Yeah, Kevin Seitzer is a guy that was in Atlanta when I played there, and I really liked Seitzer because he was real big on approach, not necessarily mechanics. He was thinking, all right, what do you have to get ready to do to implement your approach? So he finally was able to force me to work on that, and all I would try to do is hit a 1-hop line drive at the second base, and that got me into a good position. That was my approach, and then all of a sudden some good things happened because I was married to that approach versus just kind of all over the place just trying to seek a hit.
Also, anytime you talk to Jared Kelenic, he will tell you everything with him is mental. It is in his head where he's trying to get himself in a great spot to have the confidence to succeed at this level because the talent has always been there. Everyone has always seen his tools. Pokes this one into left field, but Rosarena with a good jump will make the catch for out number 2. Former 6th overall pick. You were also another first-round pick. What pressure can come with that as being a first-round pick for an organization?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Jared. I know that coming up in Seattle, he part of a big trade with New York. Came out here, he's the guy, gets out of the chute, really plays well for the first 30, 40 games, and then really starts to struggle, and it can snowball on you a little bit, unfortunately. Spent a lot of time in Chicago where I was always trying to meet those expectations of other people versus just try to stay internal and focus on what I could control.
Off the mound, but Emerson is poised perfectly to make the play. And the White Sox retired in order to end this top of the 4th inning.
That's why we're waiting.
Let's go.
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 lunch boxes.
Follow our Chicago White Sox at chicagosportsnetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Home half of the 4th inning here in Seattle with Sean Burke. He's only given up 1 run so far here today as he faces Randy Rosarena. Rosarena was hit by a pitch, stole second, and would come around to score off the double by Canzone in that second inning. '50th pitch in the game here for Burke. Ooh. Good life on that one, as Rosarena was not cheated with that swing.
No, he was looking to put the Mariners up by 1. Four-seamer right down the middle. Gets it past him.
Freddie Rosarena, 31 years old now, originally from Cuba. Inside. And he will walk to start this bottom of the 4th. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. So with that leadoff walk, the Mariners have had a base runner every inning so far to start this one. And Luke Raley had a career game last time he faced Sean Burke in Chicago. There goes a Rosarena, throw down to second, and he is safe. His second stolen base today.
Got another good jump. Looks like they're going to take a look at it. Wow. Ooh. What a tag by Acuna. Not sure what the holdup is.
I think they're calling that he blocked the bag at second.
Are you serious?
I thought that's what I heard from Trip Gibson, who is the crew chief at second. Because on that replay, it clearly looked like the tag was applied before the hand got there.
We're going to need an explanation on that one, John, because clearly it has to be something else, because he had an easy path to the bag. A lot of these calls this series, I feel like, have gone against the White Sox, and like I said, we're going to need to get an explanation.
I think Major League Baseball has done a better job in putting umpires on the microphone, especially with challenges, to explain things to everybody, including the fans in the stadium. But I think maybe we could take it a step further, and on calls like that, have somebody get on the microphone and explain the call as well. Breaking ball, got him swinging. Good pitch from Burke.
Burke with a breaking pitch. You see it, 12-6 curveball just under the bat of Raley. Nice pitch. Strike the whole way. Shows you he's got a good one today.
Dominic Canzone drove in the only run of the game for the Mariners. Burke starts him with a breaking ball, missing ball 1. Canzone's batting average now up to .250 on the season after that double. It is gloved by Burke. Looks back at Rosarena, and a toss to first for out number 2. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Third baseman Patrick Wisdom 0 for 1, but he rips that one down the left field line. Rosarena, he will score for the second time today. The RBI double from Wisdom gives the Mariners a 2-1 lead here in the fourth.
Another breaking ball to the Mariners hitters, and Wisdom all over it. Looks like the cutter, and just kind of spins in the middle of the plate. Not a lot of movement away from Wisdom, and he smacks it down the left field line. Rosarena scoring for the second time, and it's 2-1 Mariners.
Third hit that Burke has given up today, and all 3 hits have been doubles by the Mariners. Emerson drives this one down the line, but foul. You've got a chance now, a few games, to look at this 20-year-old. What do you think?
I mean, he looks the part, right? Pretty big kid. Going to play in the middle of the diamond. I think he's spinning a little bit offensively. I mean, obviously he hit that home run the other day, but not as competitive of at bats as you'd like to see, but it's still real early. Pretty repeatable swing. And good movements defensively, so you can see why the Mariners invested in him so heavily.
22nd overall pick back in 2023 out of high school in Ohio. Fastball sticks in the glove. Another strikeout for Burke. But the Mariners pick up a run and will retake the lead after 4.
The lights stay on this Friday night after the final out. Stick around for Late Night with Chuck and Ozzy, your West Coast postgame show featuring special guest Kevin Bozeman. From Final Out to Final Thoughts, stream it live on CHSN app, Chicago Sports Network. Full stream ahead. I think that's going to be the last Late Night with Chuck and Ozzy, so better tune in. I don't think there's another day for it this year.
Last West Coast swing.
Yep.
After today, the day off tomorrow, then 3 more over the weekend with the San Francisco Giants, as that first one missing here to Drew Romo. Another low-scoring affair. This one popped up behind the plate, out of play. Top of the 5th, this half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. Drew Romo last time up was in a key situation, bases loaded, 1 out, and he crowded into a double play to get out of the second inning. If this game does get away from the White Sox, they're going to look back at that second as a huge opportunity that they weren't able to cash in on. Fly ball in the shallow center field as Emerson drifting all the way back to make the catch. Shows the confidence of the 20-year-old, having no fear, drifting all the way out to center field to make that grab.
That was a good play. Went a long way for it. Kind of expected Rodriguez to handle that one with no problem, but I don't know if Rodriguez didn't see it or if it, because of the way where the sun is right now, it's kind of right over.
Liner to center, and it's going to fall in front of Rodriguez. So the speedy Acuna will get on with 1 down.
Nice swing by Luis Angel right here. Takes a big hack at it. Gets this ball to fall. Line drive back up the middle. Pretty good job by Rodriguez to not make that worse than it was. That ball gets past and could be in the park territory.
Anytime that Acuna has reached, he has been a weapon for the White Sox. He was inserted into the game late last night as a pinch runner. He was almost picked off. On the challenge, the call stood, but Will Venable actually came out of the dugout. And he let this crew know that there was a potential obstruction there.
Well, they didn't call it. Sorry. Like they called it against the White Sox last inning when he had a perfect angle to slide into second base. I can't. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. A little riled up. Nothing wrong with that.
Batter challenge the strike call.
So a challenge from Antonacci, ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Call's correct. Chicago has 2 remaining.
So the call is overturned.
Nice try, Mike. I know what you did there.
Now, the potential obstruction did not come into play late in the game, but Will Venable did want to come out and just let the crew know that he did see it on that play if this call potentially was going to be overturned.
Well, it's not reviewable. That's
right,
the problem.
That was the issue.
That's the problem. And then to make that call today, I don't see it. I'm sure we'll go back to it at some point, but that's a huge run in a rubber match for a couple teams have really good pitching staffs. I don't see it. Look, he's got a perfect angle. I mean,
Antonacci rips this one to center, and once again it falls in front of Rodriguez. So back-to-back singles into center field, and the White Sox have something brewing in the 5th.
Sam with his second hit of the day, doing a really good job staying inside that baseball. Love his swing and approach. And this ball drops in front of Rodriguez again. It's been a couple that I thought he might come in and make a snag, but good for the White Sox. They've got something cooking right now. First and second, and their big bopper at the plate, Murakami.
There may be something to your point of the sun where he's just not picking it up as sharply off the bat.
Potentially, yeah. The higher it goes, the harder it's going to be to find. You can see where their shadows are. The shadows are basically right above or right below them. So when they look up and a little bit down the right field line, that's when they're looking directly into the sun.
Good hitting count for Munetaka Murakami. See how healthy of a hack he will take here with this 2-0 pitch. Pulls it and hits it into right field. Acuna with wheels. He will score from second. Murakami's RBI single ties this game at 2 here in the 5th inning.
It's not all homers from Murakami. Does a good job right here. Sweeper right in the middle of the plate, and he smacks it into the 4-hole. Good job by Acuna to make sure it wasn't caught, and then speeds around. Antonacci doing the same. And now first and third with Benintendi up, only 1 out. Tie ball game.
So Hancock steps off, goes the rosin bag as he gets a little time to regroup. As the White Sox applying pressure in this 5th inning with Benintendi at the plate. Breaking ball missing outside, ball 1. Benny's RBI single in the 3rd tied this game at 1. What do you thought about the approach the White Sox hitters have taken against Hancock so far today?
I think it's been fine. I think Hancock has done a pretty good job to stay out of the middle of the plate and off the barrel. Nobody's really squared him up too hard. They're starting to take some better hacks at him, though. Might be seeing the ball a little bit better out of his hand.
Pitch count starting to get up there for Hancock. This is number 84 as Benny hits it hard on the line. Emerson with the grab as both runners retreat. There's 2 away here in the 5th.
Benintendi smokes this one. Anywhere else and it's a base hit. Unfortunately, he knuckles it right back to the shortstop, Emerson, and still first and third. Now 2 outs. Hang with him though for Benintendi.
Conference on the mound with Colson Montgomery at the plate. A chance to give the White Sox their first lead of the ball game. The big takeaway for Will Venable last night, he said he's always known how much fight this team has, but he was really impressed the way this team, throughout every single inning, facing a tough pitcher, there was just so much chatter, so much energy and life in the dugout, just supporting each other. He was really happy with the way his team stuck with it the entire game.
Yeah, finally found a way to break through.
It's something that's really unique about this squad. They're so young, there's so many different fun personalities, but everyone is cheering for each other. Even the guys who are playing in front of them. Into center field as Rodriguez racing in, makes the grab to end this threat. White Sox pick up a run and tie this game at
front-wheel drive for $2.99 a month.
Bottom of the 5th we go. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. White Sox and Mariners all tied at 2. Welcome back inside the booth alongside Gordon Beckham, John Triffin. Will Venable, his message to his guys today: empty the tank. Give everything you've got. Try and win this series with an off day tomorrow. And the White Sox, they are battling once again.
Yeah, off day tomorrow. They've got an opportunity to have a happy flight and an off day in San Fran. So what better way than to start that off day off with a big-time win? There's been a couple of close games last night and now today. White Sox having to work through a little bit of adversity. I feel like some of these calls over the last few days have gone against them, but they found a way to bounce back again, tying it up in the top of the 5th, 2-2. Got an opportunity to win a series and a season series. You know, it's not lost on me, John, that the way the White Sox are going, if they find a way to either get into the division playoffs or get a wild card spot and they match up against the Mariners and they win today, that's a season series win. That game would be at home. It's not crazy out of the realm of possibility. So some of the things you start thinking about a little bit with the way the White Sox are playing.
We're talking home playoff games.
A boy can dream.
I'm not mad at it. There's a ways to go, but there's certainly a different expectation and outlook with this team this year.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, these are small things that you don't even think about until the end of the season, but that's why a win would actually be important today. Start playing against some of these teams that are potentially going to be playoff spots and win those series.
Starting to see a little more separation even within the division in the AL Central. Currently right now, Tigers and Royals in last place, 7.5 games back of the Guardians. White Sox 2 games back, as the Guardians have now won 4 straight games. But a walk to the 9-hole hitter starts this bottom of the 5th. Grab your friends and head to the park for Miller Lite Baseball and Brews. You get 1 ticket and 2 beers starting at $24. You must be 21 and over with a valid ID. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews.
You know, Burks really had to work out of some jams. Started 4 of 5 innings with either a walk or a hit by pitch.
And the leadoff man has been aboard every single inning for the Mariners. I apologize, except for the 3rd inning. Cole Young has been on twice, a walk and a double in the 3rd. And the question is, did Young get hit by that pitch now? As Dan Wilson is looking at the video to see if he wants to challenge, and he does initiate the signal. And he will challenge to see if it hit Young.
The call on the field is no hit by pitch. Seattle is challenging.
Oh, the ball did change directions, potentially off his back foot.
That's what I see.
All right, this is a Northwestern Medicine Manager's Challenge. We're taking a second look at the play. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. You think this gets overturned?
I do. Yeah, I think it gets overturned. It looks like it nicks just the backside of his foot. I was a little surprised because it took them a while to get that in, but they were given the leeway a little bit. Generally, you have to get that in a little quicker, but Mariners have been the beneficiaries of a few calls over the last few days.
After review, the call on the field has been overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch. Seattle will retain their challenge.
As we said, off the backside of his foot.
So the second batter that Burke has hit so far today, and the first two have reached in this fifth inning. Very dangerous. Julio Rodriguez at the plate. Still just 25 years old. And I went into the Mariners clubhouse today. I wanted to find Naylor. Wasn't able to track him down, but I stood next to Julio Rodriguez. He is a big man.
Oh, yeah.
6'4", 228.
Yeah, he's built very well. There's a reason some guys better than others in the big leagues. He looks like he's a big leaguer, that's
but
for
he's
sure.
always been, obviously he's always had the height, but he has filled out over the last season or two. Oh, 2 from Burke. He's a guy known for picking it up after the first 2 months of the season, but he's had a good start for the Mariners. Lines this one into center field, and it's going to drop in front of Peters. The runners had to hold, so they will stop at second and third, and the bases are now loaded, nobody out.
Up on Rodriguez, 1-2, and goes with the fastball down in the zone. That's kind of where Rodriguez likes it. Unfortunately, he gets through that one, and bases are loaded, nobody out.
And this is not the guy you want to see at the plate for the White Sox. Josh Naylor steps in, bases loaded, nobody out. A chance to break this 2-2 tie.
Yeah, not the guy you want to see up, especially with what we detailed last night with the assist from the boss, Jerry Reinsdorf, with those slugging percentages. But maybe today's a new day. I said let's try to keep him in the yard. Now we got to just try to get him out.
Pops this up in a shallow left. Antonacci makes the sliding grab, and everybody stays put. So best case scenario for the White Sox, one down.
Huge play right here. Antonacci didn't get the best read on it because it went up right in that sun that I was talking about, but got there a little bit late, makes the easy sliding catch, and keeps Pareda at third base. Most importantly, Pareda not the fastest guy, so that's got to be a long fly ball to score him. Now, a ground ball out at any base, potentially a double play gets him out of the inning.
Randy Arozarena has been on base twice today. Hit by pitch and a walk, and each time he has scored. And Arozarena will challenge.
A batter's challenging the strike call.
Big challenge right here. Difference in 1-1 and 2-0.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The call's correct. Seattle has 0 challenges remaining.
And that's a big one.
That's a big one. 1-1's a big deal. Randy can really run, so got to be careful. Can't try to turn the double play. If you don't have the double play, just go home, get the out with Pareda running at third base.
Pops him up. Infield fly is called. And 2 away here in this 5th inning.
Huge out right there against a guy that's been really swinging a very good bat. Also has been on the bases and has scored the only 2 runs for the Mariners. So looks like that might be it for Burke, and it is going to be it. Bases loaded here, bottom of the 5th.
Lease a specially tagged 2026 Sorrento LX front-wheel drive for $299 a month.
Join us at the ballpark on Saturday, May 30th, as the White Sox take on the Tigers at 1:10 p.m. 15,000 fans, 21 and over, will receive a teal and Caro bobblehead presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos.
Newcomb on the mound. Only 3 of 12 inherited runners have scored against him this season, so he's done a good job of putting out some fires. It'll be the 21st time on this year, a 2.6 ERA.
So with the lefty coming in for the White Sox, Luke Raley will be pinch hit for, and Rob Refsnyder, the righty, gets an at-bat here. Refsnyder has struggled this season. White Sox trying to get out of this bases-loaded jam in the 5th.
And that's part of the calculus right there for Will. It's a tough one because Burke, you know, probably has more in the tank than those 83 pitches, but they also have an off day tomorrow. They can kind of empty the tank like you were saying, and they know if Newcomb comes in, they'll probably pinch hit for Raley, which leaves Refsnyder, who hasn't been hitting very well.
Raley was the guy who had that career-high 7 RBI game against the White Sox in Chicago. Refsnyder, you see where his batting average is sitting at right now. Two-one pitch. On the ground to Maidroth, puts his body in front, the race to the bag in time. Nicely done. White Sox get out of the bases loaded, nobody out jam.
Absolutely Houdini act. The Mariners did it earlier, now the White Sox follow.
Take the click, of course I do.
What kind of clubhouse we have where everybody's super excited for each other.
MLB is partnering with Crisis Text Line to increase mental health awareness. Free, 24/7. It's a confidential support in English and in Spanish. You can text MLB to 741741. Top of the 6th. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai with a new pitcher on the mound.
Cooper Criswell on the mound for the M's. You saw the ERA, very good. Below 3, he's one of their guys out of the bullpen. He'll get Maidroth here in the top of the 6th. Tie ball game.
What a great play by Maidroth to end that jam. Put his entire chest in front of that ball, race to the bag at second. And turns on this one into left field. A single for Maidroth to start the 6th inning.
Second time on the bases for Maidroth. Walked earlier, and now a knock, been swinging a good bat. You see that down and in changeup, stays on it, hits it right through that 6 hole. And the White Sox have a base runner to lead off the 6th.
All right, here's your guy again. You want to go deep today. Kelenic is 0 for 1 with a walk so far. You know, one of the things that Meidroth worked on in the offseason, which we've talked about, is his body, but also that first step quickness. And he said he wanted to be more of a base stealing threat. Have not seen as much of that so far to start this season. Getting out of that jam, momentum on the side of the White Sox now. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, that one looked low, and we're going to see a challenge.
First challenge is strike ball.
Another changeup, bottom of the zone.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Call's correct. Chicago has 1 remaining.
Did catch a piece, and the White Sox lose a challenge. Tristan Peters steps in 0 for 2 today. First one missing down inside ball 1. Even on the outs for Tristan Peters, they are becoming louder and louder. His last time up, a ground out to short, it was 105 miles per hour off the bat. It's been a long, windy journey for Tristan Peters. Grew up in Canada, moved away from home to the western part of the country when he was just 16 years old, just to find a better opportunity, go to a baseball academy. Then went to a junior college in Arizona. Found his way to Southern Illinois University, a Saluki. And getting an opportunity with the White Sox this season. Two balls and a strike. And that's a fair ball. Nick Morley had to hop out of the way at first base. They're going to wave in Meidroth, and the ball is stuck underneath the railing, so they're going to send Meidroth back to third. The run will not score.
What do you mean stuck? Stuck under the rail? Holy moly. This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. Still swinging a hot bat is Peters. And this ball is right down the line, past it, diving.
If you'll take a look underneath the padding at the wall, it just gets lodged underneath.
I mean, maybe, but I've played here. It's not like there's a lot of room right there.
Ref Snyder threw up his hand, and the umpire said it was a dead ball.
Of course they did. I'm gonna need a hug after this series.
Want a hug right now?
Maybe.
I'll give you a hug. Come here. Come on over here.
Man. Good swing by Peters. White Sox got something going. Man on third. And second, less than 2. Romo's got another chance here. Drive in a run. Fly ball will do it. The only thing I can think of is that it bounced up underneath the padding to where he couldn't see it. That would totally make sense to me.
And Mydroth is now caught up in a pickle. They're going to try to run him back. He is tagged out as Peters gets to third. And there's 2 away in this 6th inning.
Looked like they were going to go with a safety squeeze. He pulls back, and Mydroth just gets caught off the bag, and Pareda picks him off easily. Second out of the inning, and it's a big one.
Officially scored a caught stealing, 2-5-2, as Mydroth is now erased. And that ball getting stuck becomes even bigger now because Mydroth would have scored if that just caroms off the wall and stays in play. Hit hard, but it's at Naylor at first. And another opportunity, the White Sox unable to cash in here in this 6th inning as we stay tied.
Moving forward
right here
on Chicago Sports Network.
Experience a game from the Miller Lite Landing in right field. I would read you the rest. We just lost our monitors. It's all right. We'll make do.
It's all part of it.
There we go. You can enjoy unmatched views, a variety of seating options, in-game wait staff, and select throws and more. Perfect for season packages or group outings. For more information, visit whitesox.com/landing or call 312-674-1000. It's like that moment where the power went out in Chicago for a little bit during the ball game. There's that viral video of PCA at the plate where the lights go down and then you hear like that Undertaker theme music. He thought the Undertaker was coming out.
That's incredible.
End zone's going to get plunked.
Looks like it was just a graze. Yeah, must have just grazed him. Either way, White Sox have plunked now 3 batters this ball game.
5 of the 6 leadoff batters for the Mariners have reached today.
The catcher's challenging the ball call.
It's a big challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Good job right there.
Ball's overturned. Chicago has 1 remaining.
The way this looked when it came in, I watched it live. I'm like, I'm not sure this is going to be a strike. So good job by Drew Romo to take a chance and get it right.
Especially where we are in this ball game right now. The Mariners are out of challenges.
Yep.
White Sox just 1 remaining here in the 6th inning. Wisdom late on that heater. Third baseman is 1 for 2 today, an RBI double in the 4th. Swing and a miss from Newcomb, and there's 1 away.
Newcomb gasses him up with the fastball, just says, here it is, over the top of the strike zone, middle of the plate. First out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a big one. Now he gets back the platoon advantage against Emerson.
White Sox find themselves in another tight ball game against the Mariners. With the series on the line in this finale, it does feel like there was at least 2 scenarios where the White Sox let some opportunities get away. Maidroth starts it off at second. Acuna's throw to first. 4-6-3 turn. A double play to end this 6th inning.
They are hot for the White Sox right now.
Give me more and more and more of that.
It's our Steinhoffels double play. Steinhoffels donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference. Well done right there. Maidroth to Acuna to Murakami. Maidroth playing deep in the 4-hole, hit right to him, but they still had a long way to go against a couple guys that can really run. So well done to turn that double play. And here's Matt Brash. He was reinstated off the IL today with right lat inflammation. He's begun the season with 11 1/3 scoreless innings over 13 appearances, so that ERA is legit at 0.
Before the game, Mariners manager Dan Wilson talked about Brash and just what it means getting him off the injured list. It's a huge lift for their bullpen. He is the setup guy. And last season threw a lot of high leverage innings. So this is a big addition to this ball club for the Mariners. Facing Acuna, bottom of the order. Slashing this one into right field and making its way out of play in the seats. Prior to his injury this season, the Mariners were 12-2 in games where Matt Brash appeared out of the bullpen. Because he's got stuff like that, a strikeout to start this 7th inning. Let's go to Brooke.
We're going to take you down on the farm. Jonathan Cannon made another rehab start with Charlotte yesterday. He went 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits and 1 run while striking out 4. The one thing that stood out, though, was the 4 walks, so continuing to build that command back up as he works towards returning. And keep an eye on George Wolko, guys. He was a triple away from the cycle yesterday with 4 hits, including a homer. He's now up to 6 homers and 27 ribbies in just 37 games this season.
Big George doing his thing down there.
We were talking about big men. 6'7", 239, and he's still just 20 years old.
He's a giant. You see him in spring training, you're like, you know who that is. That's Big George.
There's certain guys that just look different when they're in a group. George Wolkow. When you see him with the minor leaguers, you can spot him from a mile away.
Well, you wonder how he got from the football field to the baseball field. I mean, the way how big he is. That's like, he looks like an offensive lineman. Or maybe like a, let's just say a tight end.
I'd say an athletic tight end.
Okay, athletic tight end. I like that. I like that. What do you think Wolko's favorite route would be? Like a dig?
No, I'm trying to think. I like that. That's a good question.
Curl? 12-yard curl?
I think a slant.
A slant?
To show off his athleticism.
Oh,
A
okay.
little slant over the middle. Pick on a smaller safety, maybe.
You like him.
And then just kind of truck him.
You like setting him out.
Yeah.
Like as a slot guy or something.
Yep.
Okay.
First 2 White Sox go down swinging here in this 7th inning.
Well, Brash is proving to be as nasty as we thought he was. Breaking pitch. Middle of the plate, and you see the giddy up it has on it. Antonacci swings over the top of it. Strike the whole way, still was able to get Antonacci, who's been swinging a good bat.
Murakami ripped an RBI single his last time at the plate in the 5th inning. I spoke to yesterday's Mariners starter Bryce Miller. He said the plan of attack against Murakami is that you can't let him even make contact, because when he makes contact, it can go a long way. So you've got to try to exploit some of the swing and miss in his game, which is where Brash is attacking right now, 2-2.
Well, Brash has got nasty stuff, and that's Murakami's game. He's going to walk a lot, he's going to swing and miss a lot, and he's going to lose a lot of baseballs. But he does, I will say that he finds a way to put together a good at-bat when he needs to. It's not just a 3 outcome. I know that's dominant in his game, but he finds a way to get a single when he needs to.
Pitchers feel like there is some chase in his game, so they're trying to see if they can get him to expand his zone. 3-2. That goes off of Brash. On the carom, Emerson, his throw is wide, and now let's see if Brash is going to be okay. An infield single for Murakami.
Looks like Brash is okay. This ball was hit hard. Slider took off his glove, tried to get it on the backhand, no look. Still almost got Murakami at first, but it'll be a single. Almost 104 off the bat. I knew he hit it hard. Murakami with another knock today. That's his second one in as many at bats after starting 0 for 2.
Big lefties coming up for the White Sox. Andrew Benintendi now with 2 outs.
And you might ask, well, why is Brash in the game here in the 7th if he's the setup guy? Well, it's because of these hitters for the White Sox. The top of their lineup, most leveraged spot. Got to put your best guy out there.
Murakami the go-ahead run on it first. And it's in the air to center field as Rodriguez makes the grab and ends this thread. It is time to stretch here in Seattle. We are tied.
The stay in your car 10-minute oil change. Find your nearest shop at take5.com.
Save all summer long with our summer savings section. Enjoy $20 weekday and $25 weekend select lower level tickets while supplies last. Exclusions do apply. Includes taxes and fees. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/section. This one popped up just underneath our booth behind the plate.
Good first step right there, John.
I'm telling you.
You're getting there.
I saw you rise. I'm getting up there with you. What the leadoff hitters have done so far today for the Mariners, as this one is driven deep to left field. Antonacci turned around, looking up. It is gone. Johnny Pereda, the 9-hole hitter. First home run. And it gives the Mariners a 3-2 lead here in the 7th.
Here's the Lexus home run replay. Breaking pitch. Looks like right down the middle. Pereda with his first home run of the season, first RBI of the season. And it comes at a bad time for the White Sox.
It is Peters calling for this one as Young is retired. First career home run for Johnny Pereda in his 3rd season in Major League Baseball. It comes at a big time.
Yeah, he's been all over the map. Had that obstruction call the other night. He's been very involved in this series and hits a big home run to put the Mariners up here late.
We saw their shortstop Emerson with his first career home run Monday night. And now Pereda the catcher with Julio Rodriguez now at the dish. White Sox bullpen up and throwing now. As this one is ripped down the line in left field, it's a fair ball. It goes into the corner. And Tanachi gets it back in quickly. As Julio Rodriguez with a one-out double.
Couple righties getting on Newcomb right here. Had him with 2 strikes and doesn't throw a bad pitch. Enter third, 95. And unfortunately, Rodriguez, quick hands, gets inside that one and keeps it fair down the left field line. Another hit here in the bottom of the 7th. And our old friend, Josh Naylor, coming to the plate.
That's now 6 hits for the Mariners in this ball game. 5 of them have been for extra bases. Naylor, a weak grounder to the right side. Murakami the flip to Newcomb. As Rodriguez advances to third with out number 2. With the righty Randy Arozarena coming in, Venable will make the move. Pitching change with 2 outs here in this bottom.
That's unlimited value for $15.99. Applebee's all you can eat for $15.99.
Take a look at the bullpen usage here over the last week for the White Sox. A lot of guys have been eating up some innings. The White Sox will go to the bullpen once again with a new pitcher on the mound.
Jordan Hicks coming on for the White Sox. Threw a good inning here the first night in Seattle, only allowing 1 hit, struck out a couple. Big spot right here. Rodriguez on third base with 2 outs.
Fastball at 98 lands, strike 1 to Randy Arozarena. Arozarena has been on base twice, hit by a pitch and a walk. He's also stolen 2 bases today. And he launches this one deep into left center field. And Tanachi looking up. And it is out of here. Second home run hit by the Mariners here in this 7th inning. This one a 2-run shot for Arozarena. And it's now a 5-2 ball game.
Mariners have broken it open here in the bottom of the 7th. Hicks comes on, throws 1 pitch and gets grooted very rudely. Breaking pitch right in the middle and just spins. Arozarena launching that deep into left center and into the Mariners bullpen. It's 5-2.
Brett Snyder in on the hands, lifts this one to left field. As Antonacci squeezes third out of the 7th. But the Mariners put up 3 runs.
Think again, Bruce.
Yeah. A vacation rental from Verbo is not. If no, you Verbo.
Sox fans, missed yesterday's game? With the Chicago Sports Network app, you can watch full game replays on demand, anytime, anywhere. Start your 7-day free trial today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Sox bats have some work to do, starting this 8th inning down 5-2 as Colson Montgomery fly ball into left. And Arozarena with the grab.
Here's Edward Bazardo one of the horses out of the pen for the Mariners, and that 2.57 ERA showing up very well. Had a pretty good outing first night out against the White Sox, and already has one quick out here in the top of the 8th.
There were some opportunities for the White Sox earlier in this game. They're 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 7 left on base. Grounder up the middle, and it'll make its way into center field. So Chase Mydroth with a 1-out single.
Here's Chase, another ground ball, gets through there, right back up the middle. They're shading him in the 6 hole. No opportunity for Emerson, the shortstop, to get that one. White Sox have a base runner, but they need more.
Jared Kelenic now at the plate. Breaking ball is in there, strike 1. Mariners decided to try something different yesterday. After their starter Bryce Miller, they piggybacked with Luis Castillo. This one over the reach of the shortstop Emerson. Back-to-back singles, and the tying run will come to the plate.
A little bit off the end of the bat, but a good path right there, and Kelenic on with a single. Good job by Mydroth to make sure that ball is not caught to where he's doubled off. And now Peters up to bat. I would imagine that after Peters, you might start seeing some pinch hitters here at the bottom of the lineup. There's an opportunity to get back in this ball game.
And right on cue, Miguel Vargas grabs a bat as he enters the on-deck circle. Oh, on the count to Tristan Peters. And it's now 0-2. One for 3 today for Peters, as he looks to keep this rally going in the 8th inning. 0-2 pitch. White Sox were down 1-0 last night, heading into the 9th inning, rallied for 2 runs to win it 2-1 and set up this series finale here today.
Overall, the bats have been just pretty quiet compared to what we've seen so far this year. Few games in a row now, Monday, Tuesday, and now Wednesday, where the White Sox really have not been able to put up big numbers. See if that can change here late in the 3rd game.
2-2. That one missing. It's now full, and the Mariners are out of challenges, so doesn't matter what they think about it.
Rada, the catcher, trying to calm Bizzardo down. Let's see where it was. Yep, would have been off the plate. Good eye by Peters.
1st and 2nd with 1 out, and Peters is going to use his time.
Big spot right here. You got Vargas on deck coming on for Drew Romo, going to pinch hit. Peters has been swinging a hot bat. Find a way to get on here. You got the bases loaded, and one of the best bats in the White Sox lineup on deck.
Grounded to the right side. They started off for one at second. Peters beats it out at first. Ball gets by. Mydroth, he's going to scoot home. It's a 5-3 ball game as Peters ends up at second.
Good job by Peters to get down the line and make sure this was not a double play. Puts it in play. It's that sinker. It's going to be a fielder's choice 4-6, and then an error on the shortstop Emerson throwing this ball away. Or it could be on the first baseman Naylor. I'm not sure. We'll let you know as soon as we do. But either way, a run scores. That's big. White Sox back to 2, and that puts Peters at second base. So another base hit right here by Vargas, and White Sox are right back within 1 run of the Mariners.
Miguel Vargas did not get the start today. It was a planned day off. You couple that with the fact that he got hit on his right hand towards the end of the game last night. White Sox are just giving him some rest, but he gets a pinch hit at bat here late today.
Glad to see him in the game. I thought the way that that ball hit him last night, he could be in some serious trouble to miss some time. Good to see him back out there.
Brooks' report in the open was really good. He got some imaging done on that hand, everything coming back negative, which was a huge sign of relief for everyone. Two and 0. As a pinch hitter late in the game, what would your approach normally be? What are you thinking now?
Yeah, be ready to go. You don't want to wait around. Especially early, you want to have some sort of swing. You don't want to get to 0-2 or 3-2 without having swung the bat.
Ooh, that one catching home plate umpire Mike Malinsky.
Ties him up, and that gets Mike right in the face. Mike's a gamer, though. He looks like he's fine.
We did see back in Chicago, Brian O'Nora took a shot similar to that one, and he left the game with concussion-like symptoms. So that is no joke, but Mike Malinsky, he's tough. He is going to stay in this one.
Looks like Vargas has been behind the fastball right now, so see if he can get on it, or let's see if Bizzardo tries to go with some off speed here, down and away, get him to chase.
2-2. Outside, it is full.
Edgar Caro has come on deck for Luis Angel Acuna, so if Vargas does reach, it will be Caro to face Bizzardo.
3-2. Lifted high in the air down the line in right field. Ref Snyder runs out of room, out of play. That ball just kept getting pushed with that wind you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it's blown in from left, moving towards the right field foul pole, and this one stayed fair for a long time when just pushing it foul. Ref Snyder giving it a look, visiting some fans, but to no avail.
So new life for Miguel Vargas, with Tristan Peters on at second, 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Let's go White Sox chant starting up here in Seattle.
3-2. Up and away, ball 4. And we will see Edgar Caro.
Great at bat off the bench by Miguel Vargas. Works it to 3-2 and takes up and away. More away than up, but White Sox still chance to score here. Tying run now on first base. Edgar Caro at the plate, Antonacci on deck.
White Sox have scored 1 here in the 8th. Looking for another comeback to take this series from the Mariners. First pitch to Caro.
You know, one thing Edgar did so good last year that you kind of want to see him get back to is he didn't try to do too much. In a situation like this, he might slap a line drive to the left side of the infield. Just feel like he's taking some really big hacks, trying to do a little too much with each swing. See if he can shorten up, just find a way to put a ground ball on the left side. That's going to score a run. And that's what he was really, really good at last year. You want to see him get back to it.
First and second, 2 down. 0-2. Inside, ball 1. Caro with a ton of confidence after that walk-off win on Sunday to beat the Cubs. But he goes down swinging to end this top of the 8th inning. Sox get 1. It's now a 2-run ball game.
Time for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places. After the off day tomorrow, it'll be 3 in San Francisco, followed by a 7-day homestand, Twins and Tigers. And looking even further out, they will go to Minnesota before the next off day, which is on the 4th of June. Here's your new pitcher, Brandon Eisert, on for the White Sox. Sox down 2, heading into the bottom of the 8th. Dominic Canzone will be the first batter to face Eisert. Not a lot of work so far for Eisert in the big leagues yet this year, but he will look to keep that deficit at 2 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Canzone expands the zone, strike 1. Has some defensive changes. Edgar Caro, who pinch hit, now goes behind the plate. Colson Montgomery shifts from third to short as Miguel Vargas will play third. Canzone, he is in swing mode. Let's see if Eisert even gives him anything close to the zone here. Oh, 2. Start of this home half of the 8th inning. Stuck in the glove with Caro on the foul tip, the strikeout. It's time now for a message from Aiken Law.
Cool under pressure.
Competitive, yet relaxed.
High intensity, nice.
Leader in the infield.
Leader in the courtroom. Have you been injured? Call Howard. 312-6-million.
Injury law made personal. That's Aiken Law.
In the air to right field as Kelnick makes the catch. 2 down here in this 8th inning. I see some shirts waving around. Uh-oh. The tarps off movement is back again for another ball game out in center field this time. Started in St. Louis and is now making its way across Major League Baseball. Colt Emerson committed his first error in his big league career. This one down the line in left field and slicing out of play. He's 0 for 3 in this ballgame, couple strikeouts and grounded into a double play. He's 1 for 11 so far to start his career, but that one was a home run on Monday. Brandon Eisert looking for the third out here in this 8th inning. Three-two pitch. Very similar to the at-bat we saw on Monday, where Emerson was just fouling off pitch after pitch until he could finally find something to drive.
Yeah, more pitches you see, the easier it's going to be to pick up a pitch and location you've already seen in that at-bat. So Eisert needs to figure out something here for the young Emerson.
3-2. And he lost him inside, ball 4. Correa hit his first career home run his last time up in the 7th inning. A snap throw to first, and he got him. Nicely done from Brandon Eisert as he picks off the 20-year-old Emerson.
Sneak attack from Eisert. They are going to look at it, but potentially just because they don't want to take it with them. Gosh, sure looks like he's out from that angle.
Seattle is challenging the out call at first base.
I mean, they called him out, so my thought process here is
All right, this is a Northwestern Medicine Manager's Challenge. We're taking a second look at the play. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Anything you see that could potentially overturn that?
I'm not sure I see anything that could overturn it right now. From that angle, it almost looks like his hand's not even on the bag. I got a feeling it's going to stand. That's my guess, John.
In the meantime, Eisert, he'll take it on the warm-up just to stay ready in case this call is overturned.
Taking a risk on this one, right?
It's a long time.
They've also got the lead, and losing their challenge here going into the top of the 9th when something actually meaningful might happen.
After review, the call in the field stands. The runner is out. Seattle will lose their challenge.
Not sure that was advised, but hey, they went for it.
Let's see if the White Sox have another comeback in them to the 9th.
We do. What kind of clubhouse we have. Everybody's super excited for each other.
Memorable moment presented by Prevagen, and it's a big swing. The 2 home runs in the 7th inning. Rosarina, Pareda, and that put the Mariners up 3 runs. White Sox have cut that deficit to 2, and they're going to need something special here in the 9th. Jose Ferrer comes on. They thought they were going to get Antonacci. Grichuk is going to be in for Antonacci.
Grichuk starts it off, attacking the first one. Joe drifting back, and it gets out of here. The Sox are not done yet. A pinch hit home run for Randall Grichuk, and we got a 1-run game.
Randall is a strong man because he hit this ball and it just kept going. When he hit it, I thought it would be an out. It just traveled like crazy. Look at the top of the zone. Not even a strike. Look at the strength to get behind that. Didn't even hit it as well as he can, and that ball still gets out of here. A big, big run here to start the inning. White Sox are still alive.
This is the 3rd game in a row the White Sox are seeing Ferrer. And let's see if the Mariners are going to the well one too many times. Taka Murakami with singles in his last 2 at-bats, steps in 2 for 4 today. Randall Grichuk ambushing that first pitch. The 4th pinch hit home run by the White Sox this season. That leads Major League Baseball.
You know why I'm frustrated, right?
You didn't get your throw yet.
No, interference at second base. That run scored, and that's the difference right now.
There were other opportunities throughout this game for the White Sox, and it's clearly not over yet.
There were, though. Yeah, there were opportunities on both sides. You just, of course, it comes back to a call that is just not, I just don't see it.
1-2. For me, I think it's bases loaded, nobody out in the 2nd inning.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's more than one option here to pick your poison, but unfortunately, they're still down. But Murakami taking some good hacks against Ferrer.
Fighting off another tough pitch. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ferrer deals. And Murakami, he is going to challenge that strike 3 call.
I think that's a good call.
ABS powered by T-Mobile as we take a look.
Oh man.
Call's correct. Chicago was out of challenges.
I like him taking that opportunity, though, because Murakami getting him 1 more pitch potentially is a big deal. He can change the game with a home run there, tie it up. So take a chance. It didn't go his way.
Speaking of guys with pinch hit home runs this season, Derek Hill, he has 2 this season. And he will get a pinch hit opportunity with 1 out here in this 9th inning, a chance to tie this game. Big hack at that fastball, 99, fouled away, strike 1.
I like that hack by Derek Hill. You see what he's done so far this year. He's had some big knocks for the White Sox. So far, we're only in mid-May. Took a really good hack at that first pitch he just saw, fouled it straight back.
Oh, 1. Colson Montgomery waiting on deck with 1 out here in this 9th inning. Missing ball 2. Two inside, and the count is now full. Ferrer became the first Mariners pitcher to pitch 3 games in a row earlier this season. This is now the 2nd time he is doing that. Got Hill swinging.
Tied uphill right there. 99 right on the black. Can't put that in the umpire's hands. Takes a hack. He's a little late, and it's out number 2. It's a big one.
Last chance for the White Sox. Colson Montgomery with 2 outs in the 9th. And he fouls that one away. Colson looking for his first hit today, 0 for 3 with a walk. One. There's a leadoff home run by Randall Grichuk, making this a 1-run game. And the White Sox down to their final strike of this game. Shirts are off, fans are on their feet. It has been a party atmosphere for all 3 games here in Seattle. 1-2 pitch. Pitch to Montgomery, swing and a miss, and that's going to do it. White Sox tried to mount a comeback, but they will fall 1 run short. They will lose this game 5-4, and the Mariners take this series 2-1.
Yeah, White Sox offense, they battled today, but they just didn't have the juice and power that they've had over the course of the season, and it showed. A good pitching staff out here in Seattle, and they were able to handle the White Sox offense for the first 3 games of this road trip. There will be an off day, and followed by 3 in San Francisco, and we're looking forward to that. And we'll see you on Friday.
All right, total game time 2 hours 43 minutes. White Sox out-hit the Mariners, but Seattle belting 2 home runs in the 7th inning, and they will win this one 5-4. For Brooke Fletcher, Gordon Beckham, I'm John Schriffen. We appreciate you, as always, spending your Wednesday afternoon with us. The off day tomorrow, the White Sox will regroup in San Francisco after losing a tough series here to the Mariners. White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling comes your way after this quick commercial break.